G'day people, I'm Sharyn, welcome to my channel. Today I'm stitching out my design number 24, which is this one up here. It's from my 100 design set and it will be stitched together eventually using my Quilt as you go method. This design actually has a diagonal aspect to it, and diagonals are interesting. After I've stitched out the design, I'll show you some ideas that I came up with. Start with hooping up the backing fabric. Place something, in this case it's the rubberized matting in the sides and top and bottom. I'm making this in 23 centimetre size, so it's going to be quite big, and my hoop here, and then adding my magnets. It is possible to put other things in here to make the thing tighter or more firm, is more to the point. I don't want it tight, but I do want it firm so it doesn't shift around while it's sewing. I'm putting in my wadding, which is just rough cut to fill that, and then my top fabric, and the whole thing goes to the sewing machine to stitch it out. The first square I stitch out will hold all these 3 layers together, so I'll babysit it during that. After that's done, I'll just let the machine run. Unhoop this now. And I'm cutting this one out with just under 1/2 inch. Of allowance around the edge. So a 1-inch tape or braid or ribbon will cover that. In a nutshell, my Quilt As You Go method is done by butting two squares together, zigzagging over the join and then covering that join. You could do it either with a contrasting fabric or a matching fabric. Either way looks fabulous. This one, it's a contrast fabric. So I'm going to show you some ideas of what you can do when you have any pattern that's got a diagonal to it. Even if that pattern was just you had half a square of one colour and half a square of another colour. You can do so many fun things with diagonal patterns. This is the first thing I came up with, and it's just doing chevrons. You can either have them horizontal or vertical, but super easy to do. And if you've got half colours, then you could perhaps have your light part of your squares up here and your dark ones here, and then you put the dark ones. You get beautiful chevrons across your quilt. This one, I've just put all of those diagonals in the one direction. Nice and easy to do, but it gives a nice effect. If you've got something that is light and dark, you could choose to have all the light ones on the right and all the dark ones on the left. You can choose to be swapping things so that you get lines of dark and lines of light. It's good fun to play with these. For this one, I've just arranged them in squares. So I've got a line of diagonals this way and lines going this way. Gives a quite different effect, and you can play with it for ages. Here's the next one. You can start by putting an X through the middle. If you want it to be actually through the middle, then you'll need to have an even number of squares. If it's an odd number of squares, you're going to need to have it off center. But it's just a matter of that X, you just then echo it around. This one is make a square and then echo it one shape out, or one square out. Can give a quite different look. And if you're doing this with colours, you would end up with one colour here, different one here, and then the opposite way around in these ones. So maybe that's black and white, in which case this is white and black. All good fun. The final one I've got here is actually the reverse of this one. This one I started in the middle and worked my way out with an X. This one I started with a box in the middle and echoed that going out. Many years ago, I gave a young lad a bunch of squares and let him go to it. He managed to produce a really nice quilt out of it. See you next time.